Hello there, Star Wars fans. We are back with another review at the Darth Brew, and man oh man do we have some stuff to get into. We finally got our season finale, and what a finale it was. Look, I already see some people putting it out there that this episode was mid, and the finale sucked, and yada yada, but to that I say, Ichuta. No, look, I get it. It left us with more questions than it did answers, but honestly, I think where they're taking the story is what's most exciting here. We're going to new places in the Star Wars galaxy, and I'm ready to go. Look, I hear the complaints, but if they're taking this where I think they are, it'll be worth the wait. Now, I'm no Disney shill, but I do think there is some quality content being created here, and I have a feeling this is going to be one of those Star Wars projects that we look back on one day and say, hey, that actually wasn't as bad as everyone said it was. You know, kind of like how he did with the prequels. You know, it's no secret that Star Wars has some hard fans to please. But we have to allow these shows to breathe and give them some time to develop. We're in the long game right now, and I'm excited to see where this goes. When's the last time most of us really theorized and came together over some Star Wars content? Mando Season 2 finale? I mean, it's been a while. Okay, I think I've made my point. I'll get off my soapbox now. Oh, and another thing. Okay, now that I got that off my chest, let's get into this review. Look, I'm sure most of you have seen the episode by now and or watched all the sweet breakdowns from more prominent YouTubers, so let's talk about some highlights and future stuff. I know I'm a little late to the game on this review, but yeah, I'm still working on building this channel. I am no means an Eric Voss or at his level yet, staying up all night the day of. Yeah, that's just not where I'm at. Okay, starting off, the title, The Jedi, the Witch, and the Warlord. It's very clearly inspired by the Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, which is cool because it seems like they are really playing into the fantasy side of Star Wars. I'm really enjoying that. I'm kind of getting a Lord of the Rings in space vibe from this show, by the way. Starting off, we see Morgan Elsbeth receiving a gift from the mothers, and yes, it's Mother Talzin's sword, the one that we saw from Clone Wars. She gets sworn in as a witch and receives some crazy face tats and some amplified magical powers, it seems. Thrawn sends some TIE fighters after Ghost Crew, and we're off. Ezra builds his lightsaber, and yes, that's totally a replica of Kanan's, and that's so cool because a lot of people were upset that he didn't use his lightsaber in episode 6, but you see, this is why we gotta be patient. I like this way better. Hu Yang shares his knowledge about Kanan, and he and Ezra bond over that. I really like that. Thought it was a cool moment. And then Sabine overhears their conversation, and Hu Yang spits some serious wisdom when he says that the relationship between a master and an apprentice is as challenging as it is meaningful. Oof. That one got me because it's so true and applies to so many kinds of relationships. Then we see Ahsoka and Sabine chat it up on top of the ship, and there's a cool nod to Yoda when Ahsoka asks her if she's been training. She responds with, I try. And then she pauses and says, I do, because do or do not, there is no try. I shed an OT tear for that one. Next, they get blasted by a couple of TIE fighters, and then Ahsoka and Ezra slingshot the ship at the two TIEs and take them out. By the way, how did that not destroy their ship? You know what? That's not important, but it is a little Maclunkey if you ask me. You know what? There's a couple of those in this episode, so I'm just going to call out those Maclunkies as I see them. Thrawn finds out about Anakin being Ahsoka's master, and he starts sweating a little, as he should, because a Skywalker or their Padawans ain't nothing to mess with. He prepares for battle and asks Elsbeth to rally the troops and heavily suggests that she needs to take one for the team, and she does it, but not for his cause, which is for the Empire, but for her cause, which is for Dathomir. Damn, they really did Elsbeth dirty, didn't they? I mean, they really played her in this episode. Poor crazy witch. Okay, so then Ahsoka, Sabine, and Ezra storm the castle, but before we get into zombie stuff, did you notice that Ezra said that Thrawn woke up the witches? Yeah, so they've just been like sleeping this whole time, I guess. Must be nice. Wonder if he woke them up with a kiss. That would really play into the fantasy theme. A kiss for a chiss? Ah, now I see what's going on here. Makes sense now why they treat him like he's their space daddy. Okay, so they storm the fortress and blow through the night troopers, but then the mothers revive them and we get some sick zombie troopers. The rest of the scene felt like a Star Wars mod of zombie mode on Call of Duty. I would definitely play that if that existed, by the way. Okay, so then they make their way up to Morgan, and Ahsoka squares off with her, but they are stopped by some shadow troopers. Then we see Sabine uses the Force, like I thought she would, to saber blast through the trooper's head, and that was very reminiscent of Kylo's move that he pulled against the Praetorian Guard in The Last Jedi. And Ezra and Sabine move up to try and get on board of the Chimera. Honestly, I don't get the hate on her using the Force. She has been training on and off for years now, first with Kanan and Ezra, then with Ahsoka, so it tracks that she could use the Force at this point. Let's not forget that she is part of Clan Vizsla, like the first ever Jedi Mando. I also think Peridia may have something to do with amplified Force abilities. There's definitely some weird things going on here. So then she uses her power-up to get Ezra onto the ship, and she goes to help Ahsoka take out the troopers that are just watching Ahsoka and Elsbeth fight. That's Maclunkey number 2 right here. Why were they just chilling? Like, if the goal was to kill her, they had a perfect opportunity to do so. And they just watched it like it was fight night or something. Anyway, Sabine takes them out, and Ahsoka sliced her up like a Thanksgiving turkey, and now we gotta get them onto the ship. Except when they attempt to do so, they are stopped when Thrawn gets on the comm device and tells Ahsoka about what he knows. He buys himself some time and then hightails it out of there, leaving them stranded on Peridia for the foreseeable future. Ahsoka and Sabine reunite with the Noti, Shin unites with the bandits, Thrawn and the mothers make it to Dathomir, and the biggest reveal, well, to me anyway, was Baylan making it to the Mortis statues where he looks out to a point with a flickering light. Could it be the mother? Is it Abeloth? Since we got this huge reveal on the Mortis gods, I'm almost certain that's where we're heading now. But more on her and the Mortis gods in future videos. This could be a big step forward into new territory for Star Wars, and I'm here for it. Okay, so the last scene we get is with Sabine looking out into the night sky, and she seemingly felt something, and Ahsoka asks her what it is. Sabine responds with, "Oh, nothing, it's just a shadow in the starlight." Interesting choice words there. Then Ahsoka looks out, and we see our boy Annie as a Force ghost, looking at her with a smile, and how can you not let out a chewy cry for that? I think he's smiling at her mostly because she is on a new journey that will bring them together, potentially for the rest of time. Or at least, that's what I think. Now, if you're not with me, then what's your take on this? Let me know. Did you like the finale? Did you not like it? And what are your theories for future Star Wars projects? That's all I have for you this time. Until the next one, may the Force be with you, and I'm out.